What's going on, everybody? This is Chad Bauman with me, Trey Daubert. Uh,
Yeah,
Back for week 2 of the NFL. It's the lead word. What's going on, Trey?
not much, Chad. Had some animals following me on the last walk. I don't know if you saw the picture I just posted. There was just a deer following me.
I did not. What's going on with the deer?
Concierge says that because I'm not a fake human, the animals respect me. So anyway, got some exciting things to talk about for week 2.
I just got to address with the Eagles. I'm sure everybody knew this was coming. Got to talk about the Eagles. And hopefully, this will be the last time, at least for a while, that I talk about the Eagles.
No
But
chance.
I know I think I should be able to cover a lot here, at least
Okay.
until we see some real traction into the season. The Eagles' offense doesn't look good. They don't look good. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. I think there's a couple things that you got to understand here with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts kind of pointed this out in his presser after the game. This is a team that doesn't know who the fuck they are right now. Like they're just out there. They're just throwing stuff together and they're seeing what sticks. Here's the thing, right? Yes, this team won the Super Bowl last year. You would think that would be a lot of momentum coming into the season. It's not for a couple reasons. One, they're on their, I think at this point, I've lost count. What is it, 8, 10 offensive coordinators? 5, I don't know what it is. Since Jalen Hurts took over the starting job, not only do you have a new offensive coordinator, remember that, and I know this is something that kind of happens to a certain extent across the entire NFL, but it happens way more to the Eagles. None of their starters played a lick of football in the preseason outside of showing up to practice. They didn't play in any preseason games. This is their first week 1 was their first taste of competitive football since the Super Bowl ended last year. So to sit here and be low, the Eagles are going to be terrible because their offense isn't doing that well. Do you realize at the same point in the season last year, they were 1-1 and had just lost to the fucking Falcons? Are we crowning the Falcons in week 2 because of how great they're playing?
We
No.
were.
I think it's to calm down, take a step back. Like, hey, is this team what we're expecting? No, but look at all the circumstances and be like, they're not going to be good until they get rolling. Every year, basically under Sirianni, this Eagles team has started slow, and it goes to the lack of just them not playing that much in the preseason or in the postseason, or I'm sorry, the preseason. So they're going to start slow. We're not really going to see who this team is till week 4, 5, maybe even 6. So as long as they keep winning, no matter what it looks, it'll turn itself around, much like it did last season.
I do think the offensive coordinator might have a downgrade there. I'm not the biggest fan of Kellen Moore in the world, but his offense looked way better throwing the ball than it does right now because AJ Brown's their receivers aren't doing anything right now.
They're not. But I mean, at this point last year, they lost to the Falcons in a very
Yeah,
similar score to the school, very similarly to what we just saw out of this Kansas City team,
I'm not
where
even
like
talking
they
about.
barely
Yeah,
moved the ball.
I wasn't even talking about the result of the game. I'm talking about their passing attack doesn't look as good without Kellen Moore right now.
Honestly, don't, I don't think it didn't look at this point in the season. It didn't look that good last year. And matter of fact, specifically remember you texting you this in the beginning of the season. I specifically remember saying something along the lines of, "Hey, it doesn't look good, but at least Kellen Moore doesn't run the same play 20 times in a row." Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm more so worried AJ Brown's not doing anything. Like if you have AJ Brown in fantasy, you are losing your fucking mind. And same with Devonta Smith. You haven't really got much out of Devonta Smith. Like it's ugly right now.
I think the unfortunate part of that is that, and again, we may see some things change because, like I said, they're still trying to figure shit out because they haven't played all preseason. Some of the things that they're doing, they're good against man concepts. But I mean, even on the broadcast, Brady pointed it out. Oh, this guy's covered. This guy's covered. When the Chiefs were playing against zone and there was just nowhere to go with the ball. The Eagles, and this again went back to last year. Like they don't really do that great of a job of like scheming their routes open. Where
I think
other
that's the
teams,
concern right now. I think that's the concern right now.
but again, my point being is that happened last year and they figured it out and they went on to win the Super Bowl. Is it going to look bad at this? Like, I'm at a point with the Eagles where like, I don't get worried about their offense not looking good until I said 4, 5, 6 games into the season, because that's when they really start to pick things up and get things going. So I feel we could calm down for a little bit. Like, does it look
I
bad?
wasn't even
Yes.
panicking,
But
Chad.
this is exactly where they look. This is exactly what they looked last year at the same point in the season, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl this year, but let's at least give it a couple weeks before we start jump into the doom and gloom.
You're the one concerned. I'm not having doom and gloom.
I'm not. I literally said my whole point of this take was there's nothing to be concerned about yet.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
My
just
turn.
like, you can hear it, broadcast, the whole all week you're hearing it. Oh, the Eagles offense just doesn't look good enough, which, yeah, it doesn't look good enough right now, but it's going to get fixed. Like, I have no doubt in my mind about that, is all I'm saying.
Can we spend 5 minutes on Ryan Poles?
Do you want to spend 5 minutes on Ryan Poles?
All I'm saying is I just want to know what the vibe check is for the Chicago Bear fans out there right now, because nothing ever changes. Yeah, they have a new head coach and they got more weapons for Caleb Williams, and they shuffled around the offensive line and they still suck. My question for the Bear fans, maybe, just maybe, the guy who's picking the team doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Just maybe. Because all I know is I've been giving this team Fs and Fs and Fs for their drafts, and I don't think they're a very good football team, Chad. Like, I look at everyone said coming into the season, oh, well, the Bears' offensive line, it's way better. Is it? They still don't have a franchise left tackle. Jonah Jackson, the Lions didn't want him. The Rams didn't want him. Joe Tooney, the Chiefs had no problem trading him for a draft pick. Like, maybe there was a reason why those teams moved off of those guys. Like, this offensive line still isn't good. They can't really run the ball. And the only thing they really got going on is Odunze right now, who looks he's taking a step. But they wasted, what was it, the 8th overall pick on Colston Loveland, and he's not doing anything. That was he just doesn't understand that his team can't block. Their defensive line's not good enough. This Tyreek Stevenson can't cover anybody. I'm just trying to figure out, when is Ryan Poles going to take any blame?
I mean,
28% win percentage, Chad. This guy has 28% win percentage.
how many more coaches does he need to get fired?
That's what I'm saying. It's okay. We wanted to blame Eberflus, but why can't we look at the guy who hired Eberflus?
Well, I mean, go back. Matt Nagy was.
I think that was
smoking
Ryan.
mirrors.
That was a Ryan Pace hire. I think that was the that was
Oh,
before him.
same. They're just so. Honestly,
Just
this
keep hiring
basically.
Ryans.
Are we sure Ryan Poles and the Pace are the same guy? Like, have we ever seen them in the same room together? Like that kind of deal, Batman thing.
Maybe. All I'm saying is this guy, he got a contract extension, Chad. Like, wouldn't you want to see this play out before you extended the guy? And now he's got a 28% win percentage. And I don't think it doesn't look Ben Johnson's the problem. Like, seems like his offense is pretty creative. Like, Caleb Williams, he's not hitting every throw, but their offense looks all right, schematically at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least like I mean, and I think like Caleb Williams, you mentioned him not hitting every throw. It's a testament to Ben Johnson because Caleb Williams is airballing a lot of these.
I know. I'm saying,
like the one solace I guess that you have if you are a Bears fan is like, hey, at least our wide receivers are open. Like at least there's somebody to throw to. But
what I'm saying is, I don't think.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't think Ben Johnson. I don't have any complaints about Ben Johnson right now. Like,
Yeah.
I understand that they're 0-2, but his offense looks pretty good.
Well, I wonder how much of it is that is Caleb Williams. Are we learning that is maybe Caleb Williams not the guy, or is it that Caleb? Because even going back to the first game against the Vikings, like there were some times where he had pretty clean throwing lanes, even a decent pocket to throw from, and he was still airmailing it, to
he's
a nice little patch of dirt.
There's no question that he hasn't been great, but I also think their offensive line really isn't that good. Like, Goff in Detroit has forever back there compared to him.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, even when Caleb does have time, he still doesn't look good. How much of that blame are we still putting on the offensive?
He hasn't been great for sure, but their defense is atrocious too. Like, personnel-wise, their defense is atrocious. How many points did they just give up to Detroit?
Was that before or after Detroit started running up the score?
I'm saying they could have scored 70. I think they could have.
Well, that's why I was asking, because I think I know the one they asked Ben Johnson about it after the game. They were like, do you think he was running up the score there? And Ben Johnson was, well, that's what he does. That's what Dan doesn't kick field goals. Like that's what he would do. Like, so I think at that point they had 45. So
all I'm saying is there were a lot of Bear fans that went into this year. Because I screenshotted one of them where Chickster even commented on the thing, and there was Bears people, yeah, we might win 12, 13 games this year. That's not going to happen the way, especially with how good this division looks, because Green Bay looks filthy. So
time to make a return to form.
Sure. All I'm saying is at some point, can we hold the guy who has a 28% win percentage and picks the players responsible?
Well, no, because he's gonna get honestly, knowing Chicago, he'll Ben Johnson will get fired before he does.
That's insane. That's insane.
I'm making a prediction. Like we'll see Ben Johnson back in Honolulu Blue before we see him.
That's insane.
Do you think I'm wrong?
I mean, they got.
Like,
I mean, they gotta fire him, Chad. This guy literally gave up a second round pick for Chase Claypool, and nobody talks about it.
Chase Claypool was a great wide receiver for them, Trey. What do you mean? Would he have all of 5 catches and 300 yards maybe in how many games?
Oh my god. Yikes. Anyway, I just think it's crazy. And these Bear fans, they're just in hiding. Like they don't even I don't even think they're mad. They won't say anything at this point.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't live in Chicago. I don't know how they're taking such devastation, but
All right. You can do your next one.
all right. So knowing what we know now the last couple of years, I gotta wonder, taking a look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, taking a look at just the absolute dumpster fire since what was it, 2022, 20 whatever, when they traded for Deshaun Watson. Do you think Cleveland fans look at Baker Mayfield and just ever just be like, what if? Because
No, I don't. I think they're probably happy for him.
you think they're happy for him.
I think so.
I would be angry, like not at Baker,
No,
but I'd be obviously like angry with my team, like because when you think about it, Baker was so good for them. Like, yes, his last season there, they what were they 8-9 or some shit like that?
No, I think they had one. They had one really, really bad year. I think.
I don't know who was really really bad because I'm pretty sure the year before they brought in Watson. So there was one year like he won a playoff game. He's like first Browns quarterback in I don't know maybe 30 years.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then the year after that, they definitely had a losing record, but it wasn't top 5 pick bad. It was may have been like 7 and now I don't remember how many games they played back then, but like 7 and
It was that
9 or like 8 and
that 2021 season was his last year there.
yeah. What was their record? They definitely had.
They were
It
6
was
and
close
8.
to 500, 6 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He
I mean,
had-
obviously that's
he
not
had-
great, but it's
He
not.
had 17 touchdowns and 13 picks.
Yeah, that's right. Because they had Odell was there, and Odell was a.
And that his 2019 season wasn't great either. He had 59%, 22 touchdowns, 21 picks. It was the 2018-2019 seasons where he was all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're a Cleveland fan, you're looking at Baker Mayfield, and you just have to wonder, what if this guy never moves on? Like, because I mean, he's shown that he's a winner. Like, I think he showed in Cleveland. Obviously, there were some not super great years, but he's, I said, past 30 years, the best quarterback you've ever had, pretty much. At least going back to the year 2000, he's better than anything you've had. And then you bring in Deshaun Watson, and you got a guy that literally can't get on the field. You know,
I don't think he's ever getting on the field again.
he stopped sexually assaulting people, and now all of a sudden he can't stay healthy, and he's like terrible.
He's never getting on the field again.
Like, and look at the game Baker had last night, right? Like, to be like, we're being 100% honest. Like, I don't think Tampa Bay they had no business coming back and winning that game.
And their right tackle got hurt in the game. Gedeke, they already don't have Wirfs. Like their offensive line wasn't the normal unit either.
That's what I mean. Like they had no business coming back. And I know, there was that last drive was a lot of Bucky Irving, but
shout out.
That scramble by Mayfield. That was ridiculous. Like, you get out of 3 guys in the pocket, and you get an 11-yard gain, and you get somersaulted, and then you get back up, and then he gets the pass off to Bucky Irving for what? Like it was like 30-yard gain down to the 8-yard line or whatever it is. Yeah. So I honestly think Baker Mayfield might be outside of anyone wearing an Eagles jersey, Baker Mayfield might be my favorite player in the NFL.
I think when it comes to the Browns, it's really a two-parter. They're mad that he wasn't number 1 overall pick generational talent good. Like, I think it was their own fault. They gave up on Baker because their expectations were, well, he's the first pick in the draft and he should be a future Hall of Famer. Instead of just being happy with, yeah, you know what? He's pretty good. And instead, they would be in a much better spot had they just stayed with Baker compared to there's no doubt they'd be in a better spot if they just re-signed Baker instead of giving all that up for Watson.
But isn't that their fault though? Like, because we did that show, that pre-draft, and who do we think the Browns are going to take? Oh, the Browns got the number 1 pick, and then they got number 6. They could have had Baker because they had 1 and 6 that year, right? If I'm not.
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was 1 and 3 or 1 and 6. They could have had Baker at 6. Easily had him at 6.
That's the problem.
And they could have got Saquon at 1.
That's where they fucked up because their expectations were Baker's going to the Hall of Fame. He's this generational, can't miss Peyton Manning first overall pick.
But they were the only ones that thought that. Exactly. No one else had Baker going number 1, and they were just fuck it. Like no one else has him at 1. Let's just do it to just I don't know, make a splash. I don't know. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Costner was doing that draft. That must have been who was in GM that night. Oh, I got the number 1 pick, Kevin or Baker Mayfield, no matter what. That's
when they fucked up because that was that same draft with Josh Allen. As soon as Josh Allen started to go nuts, they felt they fucked up and then moved on.
They could be. I mean, they could have. I mean, maybe not won a Super Bowl, but I mean, they could have been contenders these last few years if they had never moved on from Baker Mayfield.
Because Myles Garrett's been there the whole time, and he's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, but even look, yeah, Baker goes to what did they trade him or did he just sign to?
No, I think they cut him.
Right? Carolina. They cut him. All right. I just remember he was in Carolina the next year.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just didn't work out because Carolina just fucking terrible. And I mean, at one point they had him taking defensive reps.
He played for the Rams.
Yeah. Honestly, not terrible with the Rams.
Yeah.
He won him a couple games, kept him in the hunt, and then he finds his spot with Tampa Bay. Browns, man. I mean, if you're a Bears fan or a Browns fan, you just got to be highly upset with the roster moves made by your GM. This decade, we can say that because we're in 2020. This decade, just terrible this decade, those roster moves from those GMs.
Speaking of bad roster moves by GMs, I'm watching that Monday night game, Chad. These first-round running backs, Hampton and Genty, it's sure looking like I was right because they're just not that good. Like, I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know when you guys are ready to admit you got conned, but I'm watching those 2 first-round running backs, Genty and Hampton. Chad, I'd love to know your opinion if you watched it because I know the games were on late and you don't really sleep at night anyway and you sleep during the day. But I'm watching Hampton. He looks – I said it before the draft. I'll say it again. He looks like Beanie Wells. He's big. He's got some size on him. He's not a total turd, but he's just – not a creative runner. He's just one speed, run into a brick wall, 3 yards of dust. That fumble was horrible. Genty, I mean, this idea that he's the next LaDainian Tomlinson, it's laughable. And even if you think he's that good, he's got no prayer to be that good with the way the Raiders block. And how about the run that he had? How about the run that he had where he went the wrong way? That was awesome.
Wait, that wasn't a run? That was... Well, I don't know if it was a run.
It was a run.
That was early in the game. That was like first quarter. He went the wrong way. And then Geno Smith was okay. Well, I guess I'm just screwed now.
And he's not on the field on third down. So they don't trust
him. And then on top of that, he had, there was a little while later. I don't remember if it was second or third down. He ran into the pulling guard or tackle.
Yeah.
So a couple of things with Genty. Like, I wonder what, well, one, it's the Raiders. Their offensive line isn't good.
Everybody knew that going in. Everybody knew that going in.
Well, so this is where I'm not talking about the Raiders. I'm talking about Genty. Like, you can't write him off yet. I mean, maybe you can because it's the Raiders and maybe you don't expect them to do anything smart.
I'm writing him off in the sense that everybody said he was LaDainian Tomlinson. He's this next generational god running back. That's what I'm writing off. He's not doing it. He's not doing it.
But here's the thing, too. He's not they're trying to change him. I don't know, like
Yes.
they're not letting him.
Yes.
They're not letting him do what made him successful in college. They're making him take a more traditional running back stance.
Yes.
How much is that the Raiders are just trying to fix something that ain't broken though?
Again, we all knew this going in, though. Every single report coming out of training camp was Chip Kelly doesn't like the way that his stance is. Chip Kelly hates it. Chip Kelly's trying to change him. We knew these things before the year.
I mean, I feel like you said a lot right there. It's Chip Kelly is the problem.
I don't know if Chip Kelly is or isn't the problem.
In my book, anytime Chip Kelly's associated with anything, Chip Kelly is the problem.
He wasn't the problem at Ohio State, though, last year.
Oh, NFL related, he's the problem.
All I'm saying is this idea, because again, there's no hindsight biases. All these receipts are out there. Everybody said, or everybody defended this Genty pick. This idea that a Boise State Mountain West running back was going to save the Raiders, that he was going to be able to overcome this bad offensive line was a joke, a complete joke. He should have never been the sixth pick in the draft. Like, especially where the Raiders are in terms of like just where they're at in their window of contention. A running back was never going to be the answer for the Raiders at the sixth pick in the draft.
I agree with that more than I agree with you saying, oh, well, Genty's never going to be good because he's a Raider.
Well, I didn't say he's not going to be good. I just think, hey, Doug Martin was all right, you know? Doug Martin had some pretty good years in the league. I just think this LaDainian Tomlinson talk. Can we stop that? He's a god. That's all.
I mean, we don't know that yet.
The biggest problem that I've had,
or not Adrian Peterson didn't score a touchdown until week 9 of his rookie year.
Are you sure about that?
Or I might have not Adrian Peterson. What's his name? Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush was never that great though.
Well,
how good was Reggie Bush?
I think Reggie Bush had. Do
you think Reggie Bush deserved to be the second pick in the draft?
Knowing what I know now, or knowing what I would have known when he was?
I'm saying knowing what you know now. Should he have been the second pick in the draft?
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say yes.
I would say no.
Reggie was a very good running back, and you know what?
He was fine.
He was underutilized in that Saints team.
He was fine, but in terms of what's actually the most valuable piece for your team, Haloti Ngata on the defensive line is actually moving the needle more than a running back would.
So, I mean, I will agree that Genty maybe shouldn't have been picked, like I said, at 6.
That's the biggest problem that I've had with this entire time. The Raiders.
I feel like it's okay to say taking him at 6 was a mistake. If you want Genty, trade out of 6, take him in like 20 or something like that. That's fine.
Or take a left tackle. This team's not close. Like this team's not close. And this Geno Smith thing. How did you extend Geno Smith before you even saw what it was going to look? How'd you give him over $100 million?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking with Geno. Like
that's the problem that I have.
He had a pretty sweet setup in Seattle. Like their offensive line is good. Seattle's got not great, but they've got a pretty good offensive line.
They thought
they were at the time had good wide receivers with Metcalf and companies.
But they thought they were going to contend. They said, we'll plug Geno in, we'll draft Genty, and we can compete in the AFC.
I mean, that's obviously just an overvaluation of talent because, as you've pointed out multiple times, they don't have a good offensive line.
And how about the Hampton one? Because the Chargers line should be good. Their line looks fine. Herbert's got time to throw back there. Najee Harris ain't going away. Like the people that draft in these redraft leagues that took Hampton as a top 10 running back, they're screwed.
Well, I would certainly love to see Najee Harris actually look at the ball every once in a while.
Hey, after that fumble, he was definitely involved.
I mean, when he touches the ball, I don't get it. So the game against the Chiefs, right? Like he would come in,
we knew he was hurt and he wasn't really practicing.
Well, so here's my thing, right? The game against the Chiefs, he would come in, he'd get a 5-yard carry, and then he just disappeared into the ether. I don't know where he went, but then he would pop up. He'd get like another 5-yard carry, and he'd be okay, bye. Go sit on the bench again.
I think that was by design, though.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I said, but even in week 2, like you said, until the fumble, they didn't even look his way. I think they need to get him more involved. I think that's obvious.
I think he's gonna be now.
I hope so.
But... All right, Chad.
I still think we're in two differing spaces. I think you're very much so anti running back in round 1. I feel like you can take a running back in round 1 under certain circumstances.
I agree, but not for either of those two players. who are I don't think either of them are elite players.
And after last year, I want to revisit this because you said I was crazy. Saquon Barkley, the Giants taking him at 2 or 3 or wherever they took him. I think it was 3 that year. They had 3. I know it was the same year that Baker got taken at 1.
I think he was 2. Right.
Was he 2? I don't remember what pick he was. Like I said, he was either 2 or 3. I don't remember. We talked about this. You said it was crazy for the Giants to have taken him in the top 5. And I said, no, it wasn't. I want to revisit this because I think if the Giants didn't be idiots and waste Saquon and they actually built up their offensive line and brought in some actual
that's
talent.
the problem. That's the whole problem. If you take him with the second pick in the draft, you don't have other picks to pick the lineman.
They had picks. They had a second, a third, they had a fourth. Then they had a first, a second, a third, and a fourth next year. And the year after that, they just didn't bring in any talent. They didn't do anything with the picks that they had after they took Saquon. Because you can't pass up on a Saquon Barkley. I will say this. If Saquon had gone to a competent organization, he'd, at this point in his career, he'd be
go to a competent organization.
Huh?
He did go to a competent organization.
Yeah, I mean, after 5 years. I mean, like, if he had been in a competent organization from day one, again, if the Giants had just built up their offensive line after taking Saquon, the Giants might have won the Super Bowl last year. That's all I'm saying.
But in fairness, that's why they're picking that high. Because they are dysfunctional. Because they don't get it. You know? Competent organization isn't picking that high.
They did the smart thing by taking Saquon. They just didn't follow it up with the smart things after. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
All right, fair enough. Do you got a prediction for Wentz this week, and then we'll close?
Who are they playing? Who the Vikings playing?
Jake Browning and the Bengals. Yeah,
I've been throwing a Justin Jefferson. I think.
How much are you bidding on him?
I think I did like $4.
Okay. You think
you think that's enough?
I don't know. There's some desperate teams out there.
Oh. Not any more desperate than me. Aaron Rodgers didn't do me any favors this week. This was the week to have Russell Wilson. This one right here.
How about it? Unbelievable.
This has been the lead word. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go find us on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.